myself and anybody else who wishes to participate. I withdraw any consent given previously for accessing via deception any energy. Call on my energy back to me across all space-time dimensions, both known and unknown, across the multidimensional levels of my being. So be it, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, what are we going to speak on this morning? I've got crystal books. Love is in the earth. This is like a Bible. If you try to purchase this now, it's really expensive, but it's excellent. It's called A Kaleidoscope of Crystals, and within it, it's got so much information regarding crystals. Introduction. Crystals have been used and reverenced since the dawning of civilization. The Christian Bible refers to crystals over 200 times. What? Recall the spiritually crystalline city whose walls were made of crystals, whose gates were made of pearl, whose streets have no dust but gold dust, whose crystalline light falls upon the crystal sea and crystal river, and where souls that are clear as crystal are jewels forever in the crown of the Redeemer. Precious stones of crystalline formation were used in the foundation of New Jerusalem revelations. They were also used in the breastplate of Aaron, the Hebrew high priest, in Exodus. I remembered that one. Note there are several translations regarding the stones used in his breastplates. Hence, each stone has been previously defined as being used in the breastplate. A total of 27 from the various translations. It is referenced within the text describing the stones. Crystalline structures have been found in the ruins of Babylonia, in the ancient tombs of Egyptian and Chinese rulers. Crystals exhibit the properties of both piezoelectricity, pronounced piezoelectricity, yeah, like I did, and pyroelectricity. Piezoelectricity is the quality whereby electricity and sometimes light is produced via compression. Many of the early civilizations of the crystal of the earth, Mayan, Aztec, American Indian, African, Native, Celtic, often used quartz crystals in ceremonies and struck the crystals in order to produce a flash of visible light. Compression produces the release of the electrons. Release of compression allows expansion of the crystal and concurrent reabsorption of the electrons, hence producing mechanical energy, vibration. A high energy source applied to crystal may cause it to fracture. There are numerous examples of personal crystals fracturing during use. Pyroelectricity is the quality of an electrified state or polarity, which is produced by and changes with variation in temperature. The pyroelectric state activates expansion and of the inherent energy when the crystal is heated. Subsequently, when cooled, the energy contracts and remains within the structure. It has been known for centuries in India and Ceylon that tourmaline, when heated in the embers of a fire, first attracts ashes and then it will repel the ashes. Other crystals like topaz will either attract or repel bits of paper, thread, or ashes. This phenomenon is due to the electrical charges which accumulate on the surface of the crystals, i.e. the heat producing an evident electrical energy. The topaz will continue to hold the electrical excitation for several hours. The energies of the mineral kingdom are universal energies. Hence, when one contacts and is willing to receive this energy and begins to exercise personal creativity via exercise of the higher will, one can contact and synthesize the energies from which the entire universe is comprised. This is the reason that crystals and other minerals are so very powerful, and also why their powers must only be used through the highest consciousness of the individual. The individual universal energies contained within each mineralogical structure is activated and directed by interaction and or contact with the same. So right intention during use of the mineral further stimulates the melding of one's personal energy with that of the mineral kingdom, furthermore furthering the propagation of the light, the love, and the good of all. Although each of us has infinite power of the universe within oneself, we tend to find it easier and are predisposed to accept support from that which is outside of ourselves. Each crystalline structure form has its own individual energy and its own personality. Mineral structures which contain more than one mineral possess a melding of the energies of the minerals it contained. Each can be used in unique ways to assist one in understanding the multifaceted nature of the existence on the Earth plane. The consciousness of the planet is leading humanity to the rediscovery of the ancient and forgotten healing art in which the utilization of the crystals is prominent. Disease, disorder in one's life usually entails lessons which will allow one to release the burdens of unconsciousness. Although one must ultimately heal oneself, the healing process may be facilitated by the catalytic presence of many things. To experience dis-ease is to experience a total or partial disconnection from wholeness, a loss of awareness of the innate and universal source of perfection. The members of the mineralogical kingdom have been used for centuries to act as catalysts to assist in one becoming reunited with that source. Wow, that's interesting that they reference here that the crystals have been revered since the dawning of civilization. The Christian Bible refers to crystals over 200 times. Yet we have preachers yelling at us that they're of the devil. But I have a feeling that when somebody makes an accusation, there's three fingers pointing back at them. But anyway, moving forward, I will not make my own accusations because I've already had 10 fingers pointing in my direction. Now, I was going to have a picture of the crystals up, but my phone was playing up. So more than welcome to pop in the chat if there was any particular ones that you wanted to hear about, any crystals. Pyrite. I'm going to speak on pyrite. Okay. Pyrite crystallizes in the form of masses. So if you guys have seen pyrite before, this mineral possesses a defending quality and is excellent preventative, which will shield one from many forms of negative energy. Actually, in fact, each time I do a video, I pop pyrite near, and because quite often, particularly with lives, there's always like this bot, and it's like an interfering bot, and this just dissipates it. I mean, we've got our own powers within ourselves that we're able to shield away crappy energy anyway, but they will still try. So simply having a piece of pyrite on one's person brings in protective shielding aspect of this stone, which works. And you can amplify the protection of that stone. You can amplify the energies. I mean, we were just talking about heat being an amplification of the energies. And for some reason, when I was reading that, I got a vision of campfire with the native Indians, and I must have seen it on TV or another lifetime, but yeah, striking the crystals together, I actually visually saw it. So, and getting that kinetic energy between the two and the fire amassing there. So shielding aspect of this stone, which works on the physical, etherical, and emotional levels. It can help to keep out negative vibrations of pollutants at the physical level due to an energy field which it creates within the aura. It is a unique protector and is an excellent stone to keep in one's possessions when performing dangerous work. It helps to keep away all forms of negative vibrations and can work to allay physical danger. The energy of pyrite can inspire the universal energies to activate the nourishing energies of the body, assisting one's attainment in the ultimate state of physical perfection. It allows one to recognize the purity of the universe and to understand that each portion of the universe maintains an inherent perfection in order to allow the unfolding of impeccability. It also encourages and sustains the flawless idea of health, intellect, and emotional well-being. It symbolizes the warmth and lasting presence of the sun and promotes the recall of beautiful memories of love and friendship. It assists one in seeing behind facades, promoting understanding of that which lies beneath words and actions. And some of us just are able to do that inherently. It can be used to stimulate the powers of the intellect, enhancing memory and providing for recall of relevant information when required. It can be used in the treatment of both the structure of the bones and the composition and formation of the cells. It has been used to assist in the prevention of RNA, DNA damage and can be used in repair of the same. Wow, so anybody who has been, afflicted by the effects of DNA interference, get yourself massive pieces of pyrite. Wow, I didn't expect it to say that in here. Now this book, I bought this when I was like 20, so I'm 40 something now. So I can't find, I think it's a book from the 70s, really. Let me see if I can find, this is the update of it. Wheat Street, CO, printed in the United States, 1995. First printing, 1995, 17th printing, 2004. And it's by, who's this book by? Why can't I say it? Melody. It's by Melody. Thank you. And the illustrator is Julia Goulbolt. Now, I don't normally, get my information from books because you can quite often, we've got this universal source that we can all tap into and we can gain access to information from. It's like, how did I have it described to me? Like a universal intelligence that you can tap into and you just pull the answers. Because all time is now. No energy can be created nor destroyed. So RNA, yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to say those words, but yeah, it can be from the jink that everybody got in 2020, 21, if you were coerced into it. It can also be used in the bronchitis and disorders of the lungs. It has been used in treatment of virally or highly infective diseases. So it vibrates to the number 3 as well. This is still talking about pyrite. So with pyrite, how would they be able to use it? So just having it near you might assist you in the prevention of damage used to repair the same. Would you put it in water and make an elixir? Is it dangerous to do that? I think I'd look in more information first, look up more information into that first. There's a reason I've come to pyrite straight away. And it's obviously because there's a large percentage of the population that have been affected. And this is saying that it can heal it. I didn't know this because, as I said, I should read more. I know with amethyst, you put it in a glass of water and the properties of iron will go into the water and you're able to, drink those up. So I would, if anybody is actually interested in repairing the damage that has been done to your cells and what's happening daily with everything that they're putting in everything at the moment. And they ain't making no qualms about it. It's not like they're hiding it, or it's not like I'm being some sort of conspiracy theorist here. Although that's a bit ironic that everybody gets called that when, yeah, it's not like we were wrong. Anyway, moving forward. Some of us lost the respect of our families, our friends, and actually a lot of people revealed themselves in from 2020 to 2022. So I'm sure everything happens for the better. Okay, now I am holding a piece of rhodochrosite in my hand. So this mineral is called the Stone of Love and Balance, providing balancing love on all levels for all bodies. It contains pulsating electrical energy, which emits the strongest power in the universe, the power of love. Damn straight it is. There ain't nothing above it. People can turn around and say authenticity is stronger, but authenticity is only created through love. So, anyway, whoever is spreading around the rumor that authenticity vibrates higher is misled. And I'll stand by saying that. I'm not making fun of anybody. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I'm not trying to bully anybody. I was giving out medals and like meaning it too. Like you're a champion. Here's like a medal and a cup, like for them being a champion, because I fully thought they were a champion for what they did. Yeah, it came across as a bully. It contains it contains pulsating electrical energy which admits that strongest power in the universe, the power of love. The energy of rhodochrosite is encompassed by the presence of the heavenly energies filled with the golden sphere of light. It assists in creating new worlds for the user, words filled with love and dreams. Using the stone during a meditative state, one may melt into the sphere of golden ecstasy. An encounter with one's twin soul is highly likely when the energy is so directed. Wow. If a twin flame, if that's like a twin flame, twin soul kind of thing, yeah, you don't want to come in contact with your twin flame until you have completely gone through your healing journey, because there's always going to be a light and a dark within that twin flame. Yeah, I'll just soulmates all the way. The only people I allow into my life are soulmates. But what are we looking at when we're looking at soulmates is there's heaps of karmic ones out there too. Like I've met a lot of people that I've known from former lifetimes, and really they're just a-holes. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. But some of us have lived for eons, and there's plenty of beautiful souls out there as well. But this whole karmic, oh, actually, I won't talk about the soul contracts now. Let's tell you about rhodochrosite. Okay, we're talking about the pink stone, rhodochrosite. It's an earth stone for healing of the earth, for showing love to the mother of all of us. It helps one to serve the planet in her time of need, allowing for one to recognize that the responsibility is actually joy. And in addition to it being joy, what's stopping you from being happy with who you are in this moment? What is preventing you from choosing happy now, which will lead to a state of joy? What is it in your life that's preventing happiness? And could you just choose it just in this moment, just right now? Yes. Why not? Doesn't matter what's going on with outside of you, the outer circumstances. If you can maintain mastery within your own vibration and be able to call in that happiness and have that joy within, because yeah, that's what divine mother, the divinity within all of us, the God that is everywhere around us, everything that exists on this plane is God. It is our responsibility to have joy. And that might be because we live in we live in a world that's polarity. So, I mean, if we hadn't experienced evil, how would we know what goodness is? You know, so if we hadn't experienced absolute devastation, how would we know what joy is? The pendulum will always swing, and I do a lot of pendulum work as well, energy work with that. Now, this rhodochrosite, it gently energizes and purifies the base chakra, the sacral chakra, and the heart chakra, restoring balance in these areas. For energizing, it acts with expendency on the physical, astral, and mental planes. And do you know if somebody's trying to cast something towards you, you've got to have accepted it on the physical, the astral, and the mental planes. Make sure you're not doing that. And that's often the thing of three. Watch this chick who I didn't actually think was like devious, but she said someone is going to place a curse on you. And she said it twice, and I'm like, I'm not waiting for a third time for that. Clicked out of there. You know what I mean? Like, not everybody who's reading or divining for you actually has your best intentions in mind. I mean, gosh, there's even these crazy, I think they've got spiritual psychosis, to be honest, but they think that they were out there doing soul retrieval, but they were trying to retrieve souls of their audience. Like, be aware of who you're watching, what you're taking in, do your checks. Like, I mean, unless you're purposely going in to be like helping to unravel them or whatever, but do your checks. Are they working out of goodness, or are they working, to try to, steal from their collective? Because it's a shame to say, but heaps of these really big ones, they are not in the best interest of the collective. But I mean, that's kind of shifting now. We are witnessing a kind of shift to that, because I do strongly believe that there are a lot of really heart-centered creators that are coming up, and they do have the best intentions for humanity on the whole. They're not just working out of that, I'm here to make money, and dogging out anybody who is a true healer, who truly is here for humanity, and going around and spreading rumors about them that they're of the demon. And oh gosh, the bullying I have received is just unnatural and disgusting on those people. But anyway, interesting that I'm bringing that up while I'm holding a piece of rhodochrosite. Well, for purification, it acts to cleanse and renew. And sometimes you have to say it out loud. Sometimes you have to say, this happened to me and it was fucked. And there might be a reason I'm saying it. It may have happened to you also. And I've just pulled the star card. So with the star card, she's got an ibis sitting on her in this particular card. She's got stars surrounding her. She's near water, and she's got the two jugs, and she's pouring between them. So it's alchemy. It's actually dissipating the effect that those energies had on you. And that's what you will find with crystals as well. They are going to bring, you're going to have some ugly shit bubble up to the surface, but once it's bubbled up, you can release it. Whereas I did notice as well, if it's a real serious thing, so I probably won't need to mention, that again, but if it's a real serious thing, you might find that you're going to need to bring up to yourself, and you can do it in your mind. You can speak to a recorder about it. You can film yourself doing it. You don't even have to show anybody. You can write it down, but experience the situation that's really freaking angering you 3 times and feel all the emotions of it, and don't do it around other people or anything like that, because it can be hectic. But you don't want those emotions bursting out onto everybody else. So feel it 3 times, and you're going to find by the second you feel a bit better about it, and by the third you completely feel different about it. And if you're ever faced with that same scenario again, you're not going to have the energetic layers of the past pain sitting within your trauma field, and it'll have nothing to attach to. It was like somebody was trying to mess with me with this some rubbish they were throwing at me. And I'm like, I've already healed past that. You can't keep me caught up in that. I'm in my 40s. You fucking idiots. Like, it was probably somebody in their 20s. Sorry for swearing. Sorry to me for swearing. I have been making a concerted effort to try not to swear. Nothing funnier than kids swearing, though, is there? Like, has anybody seen that YouTube video? Mum, it's a fucking goat. Oh, that one cracks me up. It doesn't get old. It just doesn't get old. So this crystal, rhodochrosite, its balancing of the mental process, such as the attunement to the higher self, can be attained. The one's awareness and spirituality can be enhanced. It assists in expanding one's conscious awareness of duality and allows for the recognition and insight with respect to the methods by which the pervasive presence of duality affects one's life. It also assists one in attainment of the solution to the puzzling concept relating to the contradiction of the duality nature. It further assists one in the practice of intensive relaxation, acceptance, and balancing. The crystalline structures are especially beneficial in these areas, and it tends to removes tendencies toward avoidance or denial and helps one to be willing to both accept and to integrate new information while maintaining a clarity of intellect and a moderate ideal of practicality. It also assists one in reinterpretation of traditional values, allowing the reemergence and reactualization of the validity of living expression in all situations. So rhodochrosite can also both gently and quickly balance the emotions, providing stability or order and structure to the mind. It assists in balancing the male-female aspects of one's character and physical body, providing a strong, clear, and tolerant energy. It stimulates the energies of the body, encouraging the maintenance of the optimum state of health. This mineral has a gentle balancing effect which can maintain the etheric energy at a beneficial level and can help to prevent sickness. An elixir taken internally has assisted in the relief of internal infections. So an elixir, she's actually speaking on an elixir here. So maybe pyrite isn't something to make an elixir of, because she probably would have mentioned it, but I'd definitely look into that if you wanted, some assistance. I noticed people who had that thing happen to them. I'm sure it happened in 2021 or 22. Well, I don't remember personally. Like, it's all happened very quickly the last 5 years, haven't they? But when they'd had it, they used to go for kilometre walks, like walks for kilometres, basically, and couldn't even walk like 100 meters without utter exhaustion straight afterwards. So, it's going to affect all different people in different ways, I guess. But yeah, that was disappointing, very upsetting, actually. After I'd been standing there saying, don't do this, don't do this, everyone just thought I was a dickhead. Anyway, rhodochrosite can also both gently and balance the emotions. The mineral has a gentle balancing effect, which can maintain the etheric energy at a beneficial level and can prevent sickness. Yeah, I already read that. So an elixir, and that would be just dropping it in a glass of water, even putting it in the sun, putting it in the moon, and it will provide a soothing action for to external skin disorders. So you could use it as a, what do they call it? Like a toner for your skin. And one could be place the stone in distilled water or natural mineral spring water and energize the mixture in the sunlight for several days. Then heat the water and soak a cloth in it for use as a poultice. The energies of the crystalline mineral tend to permeate the infected areas of the tissue and assist in cleansing the area while removing the dysfunctional negative aspects which are present. It can also be used in the treatments of various kinds of elimination problems to strengthen the walls of the intestines and to promote the production of the proper range of gastric fluids to enhance digestion. It has been used to balance the energies of the heart and to stabilize the heart and pulse rate. It can be used in the treatment of thyroid imbalances, and elixir is also quite effective in the treatment of these disorders. It is quite useful during the laying on of stones for those born under the sign of Earth. So that's Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, and this one vibrates at the number 4. Wow. This book is just a wealth of information. All right. So we've read up on pyrite. We've read up on rhodochrosite. I'll just tick these off. Kyanite. This is one of my favourite crystalline structures. It's in the form of twisted fibrous structures, masses, and long-bladed crystals, which either twist or are straight, and their colours can range from grey, black, blue, white, green, yellow, pink. Before reading this, I'll just let you know, if you place a piece of black black kyanite with the blue kyanite, which is the most popular one, I've got so many pieces of it. And at one stage I was like, everybody on the earth has to own a piece of this. And I was sending it out with all the packages that I would send, not taking into consideration that some people had been fooled into thinking that crystals, they were of the devil. So yeah, not everybody was quite happy of receiving them, but when you have a look at what they can do, it's like, wow, just those two pieces together, the black and the blue together, will rebalance your chakras. Like, placing them together will cleanse, clear, and rebalance your chakras. Do them individually without you having to do a lot. And that's what's the good thing, I guess, about using, because all of this we've got within us. Like, if you think when you fall over, you scrape your knee, what happens straight away? There's a scab forming. So our bodies are innately wired to heal themselves, which, isn't popular belief because it doesn't make anybody a lot of money. But we actually do have that within us. Like, yeah. I don't know how to explain that any further. All right, so this is one of the minerals in the mineral kingdom which never needs cleaning or clearing. It will not accumulate or retain negative energy or vibrations. And actually, that's what I hadn't done with the rhodochrosite. I hadn't cleared it. So I definitely had some negative aspects coming up while I was trying to give you the information on, and that's the importance of clearing your crystals. And it can be as simple as placing it on a piece of selenite or a piece of kyanite, and that will cleanse it. You don't even have to actually think. Oh, well, you could think while you're placing it on there, my intention here is to cleanse this particular crystal that we're working with. And you place it on the kyanite, place it on the selenite, and it'll automatically go to cleansing out all the negative vibrations within that crystal. Because, yeah, our other crystals, they do accumulate energy. It's like us as well. We do accumulate energy. It's why when, like, even people who don't believe in energy and everything like that, they'll go to the beach and have a swim and they'll just feel amazing afterwards. And it's really because they've just had a salt cleanse, and their body has just needed it. Whereas a spiritual person will go run a bath with a salt cleanse, like, we don't need the beach. We're able to cleanse these energies. We're also able to, there's lots of different ways to cleanse your energy. But kyanite's a really good one. So kyanite aligns all chakras automatically and immediately with no conscious direction. Now, see? Yeah. If directed with consciousness of the user, it can also open of the chakras. Conscious direction of the energy can also align the emotional, intellectual, physical, spiritual, ethereal, and astral bodies. It brings tranquility and a calming effect to the whole being, with particular focus on the throat chakra and the third eye. It is a blue colored stone, so it stimulates communication and psychic awareness on all levels. It dispels anger, frustration, and helps to facilitate clarity with the respect to mental awareness and linear reasoning. It induces one to persevere in activities and situations which would generally reduce one's strength. It provides a stimulating energy and supports one with the continuation of projects. It further advances the conscious connection between the higher levels of intuition and heartfelt love, producing compassion in both communication and decision making. It also assists in dispelling confusion arising from emotional, spiritual, and intellectual issues. And kyanite also facilitates meditation. Whenever there is a problem with respect to getting into meditation, the calming, clearing effect of kyanite can be useful when the energy is accessible, gentle, and balanced. It is also quite useful when accessing the astral plane and when connecting with one's guides. It further helps to induce recall of dreams and to promote dream solving, providing for access to solutions during the dream state. It provides for balancing of the yin and yang energies, bringing an orderly growth to the intellect, emotions, and physical body. It dispels energy blockages, moving energy from the ethereal plane in a gentle yet forceful way through the physical body. It can be used during radionic analysis, holding a sample and placing a sample of the witness or using a pendulum of this stone. The energy of the stone interferes with the energy of the user and points to the problems involved. So that's more for healers. Like I could do a whole course on that. If anybody's interested, definitely get in contact. Happy to do it. It should be noted that black kyanite also provides for grounding during the alignment of the chakras. When the blue kyanite is used in conjunction with the black kyanite, the alignment and the grounding are both spontaneous and self-operating. In addition, kyanite has occurred with ruby and it is discussed in ruby section of the book. It can be used in the treatment of disorders of the muscular and urogenital system, adrenal glands, throat, parathyroid glands, and the brain. It is also an effective stone to place between the heart and the navel structure during the healing activities associated with the laying on of stones. And this one also vibrates to the number 4. One cannot eclipse the glory of love. One can but become one with it. This is all from the So yeah, that's what the love is in the earth book is about. So it just gives us all this information on crystals. And I mean, I've spoken about a few of the minerals. I'm just going to tick the ones I've spoken of. Okay, so I'm not going to have any timestamps or anything. I don't think it matters though. No, I don't get enough views on mine to really worry about it. Pyrite we spoke about first. Rhodochrosite we spoke about second. And kyanite we spoke about third. And in the beginning, let's go back to the beginning of the book because it gives us so much information. It talks about the benefits of whether the crystals are in the configurations and the shapes are all going to provide different kind of headbands and cross pendants have been used for eons to bring energies of the mineral to the wearer. In Victorian days, minerals were used in pendants to spell names or to spell words for protection, charms, and enchantments. The first letter of the name of the mineral was equal to the first letter of the name or word that was spelled. For example, to wear Daniel, the first mineral would be one beginning with a D. The next would be one beginning with an A, so amethyst. And then, nephrolite, iolite, emerald, and labradorite would spell Daniel. And that's a unique way to bring the numerical vibrations to one's being and to enhance one's energy field. Oh, cool. So much good information within this book. Numerical vibrations. Numerologists maintain that every name vibrates in its and is dynamic in its vitality. Numbers are associated with each letter of the alphabet, and each number vibrates to a particular frequency. When representing one's name in numbers, it is said that the numbers which are excluded indicate those experiences which are needed during this lifetime to assist the spirit and the physical manifestation of the spirit in the experiences necessary to facilitate the completion of the cycle and successive rebirth. It is also said that the numbers which are included in one's name represent the minerals which will support the actualization of that which is required during this lifetime. Since particular variations or frequencies attract or enhance and assist in the actualization of certain experiences, the utilization of members of the mineral kingdom which vibrate to specialized frequencies may help one to understand the experiences which are necessary to further one's development. The following list provides a method to examine one's name in order to detect the missing numbers. So we've got the numbers 1 through to 9, and then underneath each. So number 1, underneath, you're going to see A, and then it'll take B under number 2, C under number 3, D under number 4, all the way to 9, which would be I. And then you go down to the next line. 1, beneath 1 is J, beneath 2 is K, all the way through to R, being the number 9. And then your third line, so we've got the 27 going all the way down. So we've got 1, you'll put your S, which is after R, all the way up into number 8, which will take you to Z. Hopefully that explains that. I could take a photograph on it, maybe pop it in there, or pop it on my Facebook page. The numerical vibration for each mineralogical form discussed herein is listed within the alphabetical cataloguing of the text of this book. Okay, master numbers. Supplementary to doubling of the effects of the qualities attributed to the numbers from 1 to 9, the master numbers also possess distinctive properties. The following information is given to provide the user with additional details relevant to master numbers. And with master numbers, there are a lot of blocks put on master number people. And for some reason, secret societies think it is a good idea to somehow get them involved in ridiculous situations where master numbers are relegated to servitude. Hold on, where is it? Poverty, servitude, and invisibility, which is actually an abomination, and in addition from that, a violation on spiritual law. Many of us, as spiritual beings or even master numbers, have been given the sword by God, the Ace of Swords. That is the ultimate power. That is the seat of power to call judgment on this poverty, servitude, and invisibility spell, we had been ritually bound to without our knowledge. We never agreed to this. And if it was agreed to by default, by getting us involved in a birth certificate, or getting us baptized, or getting us confirmed, which ritualistic is quite, eating somebody's body and blood and trying to call people who are spiritual demonic for what reasons I don't understand. But one thing I do know, in many congregations there is a deep sadness within, and I invite anybody who does feel like they have been, I've been cursed my whole life with poverty, servitude, and invisibility, call judgment. It 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 was no accident. Your energy, that's an attempted destiny swap. And every time that you would stand up to this destiny swapping, it would be considered, because basically you karmically, where is it? I've got so much information on this now. So many of us have been traded, invisible, erased, forgotten, drug addicts, mental patients. The church works in conjunction and was designed to get the congregants to give themselves away to those attached to societies, can feed on energies, and societies and orders are plugged in to siphon from the congregation without knowledge. And so an initiate of these societies is sacrificed. They're symbolically tethered to an entity, to a collective consciousness, and pulling resources from divine individuals, the life force, the frequencies. Each of these initiates initially had their own stuff. That's why they were called into the groups. But many of us have had this done to us without our knowledge. And I did state that I had a Jehovah's Witness come to my door when I was a 9-year-old girl and throw my energy out. And yeah, something happened there that I don't approve of. Now, the church was designed to do that the same way societies do. Initiates die and take on alter egos. It's soul trafficking, destiny swapping. Church is a bit of a slaughterhouse, capturing the souls of their congregation or just innocent people who are in their homes, of who they come and visit and yell loudly at them that they are going to be I think the lady asked me if I knew about Jesus and then told me I was going to die. Something hideous like that. But it threw my root chakra out of balance, because obviously I was upset as a little child that somebody would come to my door and yell at me like that. And that's when they've hooked in. So something may have happened to anybody who's listening at the moment that's similar. Or I might be really offending some people by telling the truth. And if that's the case, I'm not here to comfort your ignorance. Initiates used by society are gaining while you're losing. They're gaining when they go through this ritual where they symbolically symbolically killed and give themselves, they're gaining riches, visibility, and worship. And this is significant of the 27th club. 27th club, think about it, the good souls that were lost in that 27th club. Being's refusal to sacrifice innocence, I think. But, that's all hearsay and conjecture, because how would we know? But these people who have been bound to poverty, servitude, and invisibility, it's like an entity is feeding off guilt, shame, trauma. They say kill the ego, just to keep us small. There's self-rejection, forms of betrayal, we're not told, by the leaders secretly. But by binding yourself to the church, taking on the alter ego of Jesus Christ, which is a false character. I mean, it's Jordan Bardo. Yeshua apparently is, yeah, the true Jesus. And yeah, I think that recent attack that we saw quite publicly, that was an attack on the entirety of Christianity by taking that guy out publicly like that. And it is to let you all know that Jesus died on the cross for us, right? That's the story we got told. And he died for our sins. But when they're saying he died for our sins, it's their sins. He died for the Pharisees' sins. And I'm writing 33 as I say this. So, yeah, I've got no fear anymore. I've been put through all the humiliation rituals and all the ridiculousness of it. And all I do is I claim trespass, I demand restitution, and I demand it for all the innocent souls that are being subjected to ridicule and rubbish. And I do that across the multidimensional levels of my being, across all space-time dimensions, both known and unknown. It is time for change. Treating people just abhorrently is no longer the way forward. An allowance of others to know who you are. Be proud of yourself. Shadow work, if you don't own your energy, old magic systems will try to enact the law of contagion against your will. Look into that. I'm going to do further investigation into that. But yeah, anyway, going back to master numbers. Should I go back to master numbers? Yeah, I did start speaking about them, didn't I? But yeah, I know plenty of master numbers that have been stolen from, rejected, absolutely excluded from society on the whole, made to feel like they're not welcome here, they're not important, they're useless, what's the point of you being here? And that's how so many people are getting lost in this world, and we're getting lost to suicide, we're getting lost to domestic violence, we're getting lost to depression, to drugs, to turning to other things to try to, like, yeah, energies are dense down here, but they don't need to be intensified by a bunch of people doing ritualistic magic that they act like they're not doing. But for those with eyes to see and ears to hear, and you know what, it doesn't matter if I'm the only person in the world that knows this information, because as soon as information is witnessed, it changes direction. So if I'm the only one who's seen it, I'm the observer, so be it, it is done. And with our connections up to the higher realms, that invisibility, that invisibility ritual that had most of us invisible to the higher realms, invisible to the truth of ourselves for all of our lives. I find it laughable now when there's fools like running around on TikTok thinking they're doing destiny swapping and they're doing this and that. No, you haven't played with the big guns, mate. You know, maybe they'll destiny swap you for your ignorance. Like, yeah, I don't think there's, yeah. Anyway. Master number 11, the connection between brotherhood and sisterhood is a combined to reflect the androgynous and spiritual connection between all which exist, which has ever existed, and which will ever exist. The concept that I am also a you is reflected in the 11 vibration. Master number 22, actualization of the God within the self. recognition that God is the totality of existence, and understanding of the God outside of the self produce a combined vibration in realization of the self, of others, of the whole. The concept of the parallel dimensions with respect to the four cardinal directions is reflected in the number 22 vibration. Master number 33's power over the total physical realm is revealed, and the application of the same is facilitated. Understanding of the right time is expedited, and the act of non-action is furthered. Patience is a key word. The concept of ease in actualization and the understanding of the abstraction of the manifestation is reflected in the number 33 vibration. Master number 44, metamorphosis and continued change throughout all times is concentrated with determination of both the acceleration and the ease of the reformation of the self. The concepts of impetuous and catalytic motion are reflected in the number 44 vibration. Master number 55, the extension of occurrences to facilitate knowledge with ease is advanced such that approach to each event, condition, experience is with absolute precision and beneficial construction. The concept of approach via strategic techniques is reflected in the 55 vibration. 66, master number 66, arrangement of the divine order of personal life, the sacred order upon and within the earth, and the celestial order of the universe is facilitated. The concept of organization and systematic resolutions and the implementation of the same are reflected in the 66 vibration. Master number 77, transcendence of the creation of advancement, combines the energies of non-restriction within the application of the devoted stamina. The synthesis of the vibratory messages of 22 and our Earth Mother and Father Sky brings the correspondence to consummation of all within each dimension. The concept of wholeness is entirely is reflected in the 77 vibration. Master number 88, the elevation of the personal and infinite consciousness is facilitated to encompass the actuality of knowing and the receipt of meaningful revealing, and the significant revelations and the implementation of the same with respect to one's unlimited and unrestricted capabilities. The concepts of sensitivity and compassion with the experiencing of each moment is reflected in the 88 vibration. Master number 99, revolution and evolution on all levels are expedited, and a comprehension of the appropriate paths to completion is imparted. Flexibility in consciousness in the unification of the past, present, and future actions gains appreciation. The concept of subtle adaptation to facilitate the integration of all which has transpired, is transpiring, and will transpire is reflected in the 99 vibration, which we're also going to be able to relate a lot to in this year of 9. So I would suggest, because I know I have, I reckon there are so many of us that have come to the understanding and of even being able to integrate and solve the issues of everything that has been happening and reflected in our realities at this time. And it's the year of 9. So next year we're going to be starting at the number 1. Go back to number 1, which they called the master number, and it'll be the connection between. So I'm also reading this as in, like, yeah, these are master numbers, but the meaning of the word is still the meanings of, you know, what number 1 means and what number 9 means. And I'm able to zoom out and see that, yes, this is relating to master numbers, but it also relates to our years. So next year, we're probably going to be understanding more the connection between brotherhood and sisterhood, and it's combined to reflect the androgynous and spiritual connection between all which exists, which has ever existed, and which will ever exist, in the concept of I am also you. So this is going to be that one love kind of attitude, which I removed myself from the one love thing when I was realizing that there are only certain people that manage to benefit from one love. And yeah, it wasn't me, so fuck them. You know, I'm definitely in the season of fuck them. But next year we will probably be able to come back into balance with that. So that's been, and look, what's that thing that gets said? I see you, I am you. You know, we should all see each other because we all are each other. The only thing that really divides us is divide and conquer, and it happens across the globe, and they have just gotten it down to a fine powder. Like when you cut our skin, mate, we all bleed the same, and the blood underneath us is not blue blood, it is red blood, and it runs. We are all the same. There is no difference between. And when one of us is harmed, all of us are harmed. I do see that. I do recognize that. But this world has got some work to do. But it's becoming, and it's what's saying with that Master number 9 and the Year of 9, revolution and evolution on all levels are expedited, and a comprehension of the appropriate paths to completion is imparted. Flexibility in consciousness and the unification of the past, present, and future actions gains appreciation. The concepts of subtle adaptation to facilitate the integration of all which has transpired, is transpiring, and will transpire. That's what it is, and that's where we're at the moment. So you probably had a lot of things come within your awareness this year that have just been like mind-blowing, and it's like, whoa, I felt trapped up all my life. Do any of you guys get what is it called, deja vu? I mean, it happens to me less frequently now. I really don't like that feeling of deja vu, because it's like, what, I've already done this. Why, how did that happen? You know, and then you got to go into meditation, and meditation doesn't always have to be sitting there like a yogi. You can actually like meditate while doing one of your favorite tasks. It's just one of those, and don't do it while you're driving. The amount of times when I was driving, I was like, the space between here and here, I didn't actually remember it was autopiloted. You just, yeah, I don't, yeah, I don't do that anymore. But so say not driving, but going for a walk, or hosing your garden, or doing something that you can do on automatic, even like if you're a process worker and you work in a factory, which is, you know, what a lot of us if we went public schooling system, were actually brought up to do and brought up to be. And people are getting offended now that Woolies is giving away the jobs and Coles is giving away the jobs. Yeah, so they're going to give them to machines so you can go out there and be creative and add into humanity. Like anything that's happening within our society, we've just got to be able to look at it as a good thing. Like, I hate the idea of, you know, my mum having to go stand up in Woolies all day and a big dog over other people to feel important, and always be worried that they're not adequate or they're not enough, you know, like, and damage their backs. And I'd rather her sitting around with a bunch of those mates from Woolies, you know, relaxing in their 60s. But it is what it is. Relaxing, enjoying drinks, enjoying barbecues with them, you know, like having the social aspect of going to work, but in a better environment. Like, we didn't come here to be slaves. We didn't come here, yeah, to be slaves. It is what it is. We didn't. Anyway, acquiring crystals, finding crystals, or being open to crystals, finding you are the techniques for obtaining crystals, and you'll find like when you and your crystal have done your work together, it'll just disappear. And you're like, what? And then you might find it a couple of years later in amongst stuff if you're a hoarder. Otherwise, it's gone forever. You know, I used to have a piece of green obsidian. I love that piece of green obsidian, but that just disappeared. Like we did our work together and it disappeared. Where is that? Green obsidian. It stimulates the heart chakra and provides for cleansing of the area, removing not only extraneous matter and muddiness, but also gently removing the hookup cords of others. Cut the cords that are attached. Do it all the time, like annihilate, 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 cutting all the cords of attachment right now that are non-beneficial. Annihilate, 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 annihilate. And that is thanks to Alyssa Mary Rose for her cord cutting information and book that I've recently read. But green obsidian would do the same. So I was like 18 when maybe 20 when I had the this green obsidian. The relief from the removal of these cords can provide for an openness and state of well-being, which is likened to euphoria. It also protects the holder from future hookups and redirects the cords to an endless vessel filled with white light. It can be used in the treatment of disorders associated with the heart and gallbladder, and that one vibrates to the number 5. Wow. Likened to euphoria. I thought it was all the dance parties I went to, but it was my little piece of green obsidian. That's awesome. Obsidian, let's talk about that one. This will be the 4th one I talk about, and then we'll wrap it up. Obsidian is a lustrous volcanic gas. The color range and related names are varied. The intrinsic properties of numerous forms of obsidian, which include the reflection of one's flaws and the promotion of a clear picture of the changes which are necessary to eliminate the flaws. The energies of obsidian produce very blunt answers, focusing one's inner vision and actually stimulating a picture or vision of the required course of action. Obsidian is an excellent grounding stone and provides for connection from the base of the spine to the heart of the earth. It is an excellent protective stone, stabilizing internal and external energies and gently protecting one from that could bring them physical or emotional harm. It provides a shield against negativity, transforming negative vibrations within the environment. Wearing obsidian further disperses those unloving thoughts which arise from within the self or are directed towards one's physical form. It is quite useful in healing, providing both the healer and the subject with clarity and respect to both the cause and the amelioration of the disease. The following types of obsidian are listed to reflect the inclusion of additional properties. In general, obsidian vibrates to the number 1. There's Apache tear, and it can usually found in the form of black, black clear, black smoky clear, black mahogany, and occasionally black violet and black green. So these are our Apache tear must be our black obsidian. So I don't think there is one that just references black in this one. No black, grey, and brown. It does. The Apache tear has been traditionally considered to be one of the tears of the Native American women mourning for the warriors driven from a cliff by the cavalry. Oh my gosh, they did that in Australia as well. They invited everybody to a barbecue to come down for a meal, and this is what they did to our natives. And wasn't the cavalry, but yeah, they ambushed a lot of them and got them off the cliff. I'm pretty sure Truganini didn't go to that barbie, and Truganini was a true warrior that ended up dying at the hands of colonialism. But man, he put up a good fight. That's very sad. The American women mourning the loss of the warriors. It wasn't just the warriors in Australia that happened to. It was women, children, men. It was absolute disgusting history. all of that needs to be healed. And we've got lots of people doing the ley lines, you know, going through and healing the ley lines of the planet, which is really important at this time. It has been used, and this is the Apache tear, it has been used to comfort in times of grief. Metaphorically, it sheds the tears for one in times of sorrow, allowing for true understanding of the situation of distress in order to provide insight and acceptance. It allows one's comfort zone to remain at large. It provides an energy to stimulate analytical capabilities and precision. It also promotes a forgiving attitude and release of grievances which have been held against one another. The Apache tear stimulates spontaneity and facilitates the removal of barriers, which is self-limiting. It is also said to dispel the venom of snakebite. It can be used to enhance the assimilation of vitamins C, D, and D, and to aid in the elimination of toxins from the body and to alleviate muscle spasms. Vibrates to the number 6. Black, grey, brown, obsidian. Additionally, these can be used for gazing and to produce, so this will be what those mirrors are made from, and to produce sincerity in action and also insight into future scenes and symptoms. So you can gaze into a piece of reflective black obsidian. This obsidian is also used in shamanic ceremonies to aid in the removal of any disorders from the body. One travels with obsidian to the affected area of the body and visually brings the affectation to the surface surrounding and transmuting it into white light with the black obsidian. Wow, that's awesome. So see that, black and white, like light and darkness. The black, from the darkness, you're able to create the light. Man, wow. Black obsidian, inducing creativity in all endeavors, vibrates to the number 3. Grey obsidian, inducing tact and cooperation in all situation, vibrates to number 2. And the brown, stimulating initiative and independent thought and action, vibrates to the number 1. We've also got here blue obsidian, blue-green obsidian, electric blue sheen obsidian, gold sheen obsidian, which I sell the bracelets of. Gold sheen. So gold sheen obsidian is also used for gazing. I've got these in sizes from 8 through 12, and they're really good. It's used for gazing and acts to provide information concerning the root of the problem or situation. The energy seems to pierce the outer layers of the problem, allowing for the heart of the problem to become evident. This mineral also assists in producing a definition of the basis for one's path of action. It is an excellent vehicle for gazing, usually used by those advanced in the shamanic and healing arts. Gold sheen obsidian allows one to attain communion with the source of all being, and it emits an energy to prompt one to allow beauty to come forth from their inner being. As one travels in and through the world of experience access via the sheen, the energy can further be used to balance the energy fields to assist one in elimination of ego conflicts and feelings of futility. Gold sheen obsidian also reflects that which is needed for one's life. It does not give that which is needed, but instead provides insight to the avenues available which could bring fruition to those needs, and it vibrates to the number 9. Green obsidian, which I mentioned earlier. There's mahogany obsidian, purple obsidian, purple sheen obsidian. Feel free to speak up if you want me to elaborate on any of these, or write a note in the comments if you're watching this afterwards. Rainbow obsidian, red and black obsidian, red, black and snowflake obsidian, silver sheen obsidian, snowflake obsidian. Perfect. That's all the obsidians done. Okay, so that was the 4th crystal that we spoke about. within this one. And there's other little notes in this book, and it's like, oh, when you get to the back of the book, it says the beginning, and it says, just like in between crystals, love opens the door to ecstasy, laughter brings joy, life is yours, and stuff like that. I mean, that's just concepts that we've got to be remembering all the time, isn't it? Like, we get so caught up in the density of Earth, and yeah, energies are dense down here. Bad ish happens, but at the end of the day, zoom out, look down from the clouds, and be proud of yourself, because as hard as it might be, as difficult as it may have been over the period of time that you have been on the Earth, like, you're doing an excellent job. You're still here. What was it I heard someone say? That Nordic guy, he's like, life be lifing. And it's lifed on some of us so much that they don't be lifing here anymore. Like, they don't have no life. So, yes, while life will life, sometimes we might be at our darkest points, but I assure you, I know unequivocally, because I've been there, that the sun will rise again tomorrow, and it always does, and it always will. And no matter how you're feeling in any particular moment, there is also going to be the equal and opposite feeling that you will amass. And in addition to that, start asking yourself, who does that thought belong to? Especially if it's a negative, horrible thought that's not uplifting to yourself. Because sometimes these energies are not even your own. Our thoughts aren't even our own. We just claim them to be our own, when really we, and I know this unequivocally because I have had an egregores. Egregores are thought forms, and they quite often can be sent to people by the same people who are sacrificing people to, what was I complaining earlier? I was just speaking on it earlier. The what is it? Yeah, the servitude, the poverty, the invisibility. The same people who are sending that to you are sending feelings of shame, sending feelings of inadequacy, sending feelings. So you can, and anger as well, which can lead to domestic violence and the destruction of women. Who, I had a blatant attack happen to me in January of this year. Was it January? Was it? Regardless, I had it happen to me within the past year, and it was just so obvious what was being done. It was like, this guy has been dancing around a campfire, conjuring up whatever, sent it into my home. I had to jump out a window to save my life. Now, that's probably the 10th attack on my life within my lifetime. Also, I do energetic work that's actually helping retrieve the fragmentation of souls and returning them to the true soul's owners, and taking them out of time loops where, so say, someone described it pretty, like, if you see a ghost, that's a fragmentation of energy, a disincarnated soul that doesn't remember where it's meant to go, and that it doesn't have to stay there. It doesn't have to stay trapped in that nightmare. It may have been there for 100 years. It may have been there for 1 year. It doesn't matter. There's me and many other people across the earth that are able to do that kind of work and release the souls and get them to where they were going. Because staying earthbound spirits, they can get into people's etheric fields and cause all sorts of muss. And that's why it's important to do your energetic clearing. Go swim at the beach or go have a salt bath, go have a magnesium bath, or just make the command, because you truly can, by the power of command, make a declaration of clearing your own energy. I do the deep clearing protocol, which is attributed completely to Tyson Bannigan. Feel free to go get your own copy, but what I would recommend is you get your own copy and you alter all the statements on it to reflect, or you won't want to alter them all though, but just one or two of them you'll alter in your own way to make it your own, you know, and do your pendulum work there and do the deep clearing. I'll probably do a deep clearing in my next video. And it is statements 1 through 67 of removing energies, and you'll be shocked at what we get interfered with by it. Like some of the things on here, I was like, what does that even mean? But it's things that are actually affecting our lives now in real time. And it's like, wow, I didn't even know that. But I do know one thing for sure. Every day that I did the deep clearing protocol for the very first time I ever did it, because you do it, Tyson says you do it once a day for 21 days. Each day my life was just opening up more and more, and things were getting better and better and better. And I had so much negative influence around me trying to prevent me from doing the deep clearing protocol, and even myself, like self-sabotaged doing the deep clearing protocol for those 21 days straight. It's gotten to the point where I can just run it now without actually having to read through 1 through 67. And there's also a brain balancing protocol, which I put on at the start of this video. And that's going to run 24/7 for anyone who chooses to collect it. And that's the revised brain balancing protocol. But like, yeah, I learned from some masters, and particularly Tyson Bannigan being a master dowser. He's like, you do the work. You do the work yourself. And like, I was like, and also Canadian, yeah, he's from Canada. So yeah, but it was the best way to teach somebody to learn, because really you can't just go to healers and yeah, they'll remove X amount, but it's always going to come back if it's sitting in your etheric field. It's like what I was saying before about and also the reason why that man was able to send a diamond to my house and me nearly, go nuts about it. Like it was a Once for Warriors episode happened, cook me some fucking eggs, bitch, happened to me after this hero sent me the demon. Anyway, it sounds way out there, but is it way out there when you have a look at how many women are dying in Australia and how many people think that they're God walking around and thinking that they hate women and they hate this and that, then, there are plenty of fuckwits out there. So obviously I'm not full of shit. We need to acknowledge that 10% is what our eyes can let in of 100%. So that's 90% of things that we can't visually see with our eyes are still happening. And whether, just vibrating on different levels of consciousness. But regardless, year of 9, this is the year of disclosure. Accept the information, take the information, and take the good bits from it. So I'm just going to pull us one card from my deck and give us a message. The Anointed, answer the call, leadership, empowerment, and soul gifts. Water your garden, nourishment, body care, tenderness, and rest. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing, and rewriting the future. And that's for my generational curse breakers. I see you, I recognize you, because I am you. And that's a statement that there is this awesome hippie chick from California or Florida. Yeah, no, she's definitely from Florida. I haven't seen her for ages. She's I Am Tarot. I think she's got perhaps two ones. I heard some jerk saying the other day, and that'll be like he's done a destiny swap or something on her. Like, wake up, you all need a bloody shake up.